What's up, guys? Today I'm going to use my Sabre again. Sabre Home Defense Launcher. I rigged it up to a remote line using a Roscoe First Strike adapter. You do have to Dremel out the bottom of the magazine a little bit. And I have loaded in here nylon balls, 3.6 gram nylon balls. CO2 tank that it's attached to has about 110 grams of CO2 left in it. I weighed it in the house, and yeah, it weighs about 110, 120 grams more than when it's empty. So it only has like 25%, 20% of what it capacity is. So the pressure is going to be low. And I just want to see if I get it to fart again. It might not fart because it's on low pressure. I did try dry firing this yesterday. I shot about like 5 magazines through it with no projectiles, and it did not fart. But I was on this sort of lower pressure CO2 tank, and it's low pressure because it's not full. It only has like this much CO2 in it out of the whole thing. So CO2, it's the pressure is kind of dependent on how full your reservoir is, which in this case is this 20-ounce tank. It has like 4 ounces of CO2 left in it, or like 5, and 5 ounces, so that's 30 ounces. I'm sorry, 30 grams, or like 28 grams is in an ounce. So there's about 120 grams of CO2 in here. It's just a whole conversion thing because of metric and standard stuff, imperial or whatever. I don't know what the hell it is. Standard measurements. So yeah, it's not that warm out here. It's like 58 degrees Fahrenheit. And I just want to keep shooting this till it farts, or see if this lower pressure CO2 tank will fart at all. And I'm going to be using my chronograph just to see some general speeds. All right, you guys, Sabre's locked and loaded. It's pressurized. I have the chronograph. I'll do like 2 or 3 mags of these, and then I'll switch to alien play balls, and I'm just going to get a couple chronos just to see where it's hitting with the low pressure CO2 tank. And it's low pressure because it's not full to capacity. If it was full to capacity, it'd be high pressure. But I've been shooting this tank throughout the week, and I'm gonna go get it filled this weekend because I'll probably run out of gas in the next video or two. 270, so it's actually not hitting that hard right now. I think that's like 10 joules. 278. 3.6 gram nylon ball. 280. 278. 276. 276. 274. And I think that's it. Yeah, so I'm going to reload the mag. Alright guys, Sabre's loaded again. I'm just going to shoot it because it's kind of pointless to chronograph it at this point. Reloading. Alright, I'll do a chrono on this one just to see if I get lower speeds. So I think like 270 was the lowest. 274, so it's still hitting about that same speed. That one's lower. 258. 206. One thing I noticed yesterday when I was shooting this, like on the 3rd mag, which is the mag I'm on now, it started like losing pressure for some reason. That one seemed higher. That was weak. That was really weak. That was really weak. Super weak. I'm gonna reload. Alright, I'm reloaded. 7 more shots. Nylon balls. 266. 264, 264, 264, 264 again, 262, and I think this is the last shot. 262. Yep, reloading. Alright, you guys, I switched to the Alien Play aluminum balls. These are 7.2 grams, and the bore size is like 677 or 678. I'm imagining it's As far as joules, it'll probably be almost the same as the nylon rounds. So yeah, 7.2 grams. Got the chronograph. 192. 190. 188. 188. 188. 186. So I'm thinking that it's not farting because the pressure in this tank isn't the same as it was when I tried it the other day, and it farted after like 3 magazines, because that was when it was hitting like full power every single time. So I'll try this again with an HPA tank, which doesn't get cold like how CO2 does, and it's regulated at 800 psi. The ones I have anyways are regulated at 800 psi output, and I'll see if it farts with HPA, and then if it does not fart with HPA, I'll try it again with a full pressurized CO2 tank. 188, or I'll use the 12 gram CO2s to see if it farts. It's fine on the first CO2, first 12 gram CO2, it's been fine. But when I reload with a second CO2 in a short time span, that's when it ends up farting. 186, which you're probably not going to reload and use another CO2 if you actually have to use this in an emergency. But it's just something I noticed with this launcher. 182. I think I got like one more shot, maybe. 182. Other than the farting though, it's been pretty consistent speeds and everything over 12 gram CO2s with the drop off and with just functioning in general. When I use one CO2, one 12 gram CO2, it's never malfunctioned or farted or done anything weird. And the twist to pierce system, it's foreign to me. Like I don't have anything else that uses a twist to pierce, and it only took me like 2 magazines to get used to it. And the cool thing is it's pretty sturdy, the twist to pierce. It's all metal. There's no plastic that's actually pushing the CO2 12 gram cartridge into the magazine. It's all metal construction, so you're not going to have like thread strip or it not want to go up or something random happening to it, because it's all metal, so it's pretty durable, it seems. And yeah, it's just it's a good launcher. It just has a couple little flaws every here and there, and I think since I broke in the magazine more, it's been sliding into the marker a lot easier than it used to, because sometimes I would load it in here. I'm gonna pause it and degas everything. All right, you guys, sometimes when I would load this, when the magazine was brand new, I would get it to about here and it would kind of get stuck and not want to go in, because it has to be like flush with the top. So what I ended up doing is basically just like pressing it into the launcher harder, into the handle, or totally taking it out and then kind of going fast with the click. So now it's clicked in. I turned off the gas. I'm just going to depressurize this. There's nothing in this. So there's no more pressure. Shouldn't be anymore. I'm gonna take the mag out. Yeah, no more pressure. Take my air feeding off and undo this pipe thing, remote line adapter piece. See, when I have this not in use, I have no pressure on that seal. Like I have the pipe in there, but it's not putting pressure against that. Sorry, my camera's not wanting to focus. There you go. So I just have it loose in there when I'm not using it, because I don't want that seal to get worn out. And yeah, when I load this in now, it loads in much easier. It's not as restrictive as it used to be. And yeah, other than, you know, if you shoot this a lot, like every one 12-gram cartridge, I get like 4 mags out of it. The first 2 magazines are the strongest. The first magazine is the actual strongest one. And it'll go from about, depending on the weight of ammo, like if I use these alien play balls, first hit will be in the weather that I've been in, which is not super hot, but like 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 or 22 degrees Celsius. I have not shot this in warm weather yet because it hasn't been warm out here yet, like 80 degrees or like 90 degrees Fahrenheit. But I usually get, with the 12-gram cartridge, I'll get about 22 joules on the first shot with the heavyweight ball, like these alien plays or the Grimberg Joule V3s. And the second shot is about 20 or 19 joules. The third shot will be about 17 or 18 joules. And then the fourth shot will be about 13 or 15 joules. Fifth shot will be maybe 13 if it isn't already at 13. So by the end of the first magazine, you can load 7 in here. By the end of the first mag, usually with the heavier balls, it's hitting about 12 or 11 joules. And then if you reload and put 7 more rounds and then push the mag back in, that first shot on the second mag, depending how much time has passed, will probably be 15 joules. Most of the time it's like 15 or 16. And then the next shot on the second magazine will be like at 12. And then it just goes down from there. 12, 10, 9, 8, 7. Usually by the end of the second mag, I'm hitting like 6 or 7 joules on those last like 2 shots. And then after that, if you do a third magazine, at most you'll get is like 10 joules, and then it'll just go to like 7, 6, 5, and just kind of keep hitting 5. So it doesn't, the CO2 weakens immensely after the second magazine. If you're going to use this in an emergency, you'd probably end up just using one CO2 anyways. So I'm just testing this to see if it farts again. It didn't today, but this is not doing high pressure because the capacity is only like at 20%. I'm going to go back inside the house and weigh it, and I'll see how much it weighs. All right, you guys, back in the house. This is a full tank. Sometimes it's not completely full. When these tanks are empty, they weigh 830 grams, maybe 832, depending how many stickers I have on them. So this one has about 540 grams of CO2 in it, because if you subtract 830 from this is 1,376 grams. So this has about 540 grams in it of CO2. This is the one I've been shooting. It weighs 916 grams. So this has about 70 grams of CO2 left in it, or like 85 grams of CO2 left in it. And yeah, so when these are empty, they're 830 grams. And when they're full, they're about 1350. I just do it by grams because it's easier to do that versus converting pounds and ounces and stuff. Because yeah, I work with stuff at work. I have to weigh, sometimes it's grams and kilograms. We don't use ounces and pounds and stuff and things that I weigh at work. So I'm gonna go back downstairs. All right, guys, so yeah, Sabre launcher, it's not bad for 150 bucks. The stock one has, you know, this twisty thing in it. I've shown videos how to remove this. You just need a pin and a hammer to strike it out. This pipe thing, this is for a First Strike Roscoe, I think Rockstar Tactical. I think it's like $11 from that website. And it's a reputable business. A lot of people use them for other things. But yeah, there's a nut in here. These threads match, and it just goes in here and secures against that seal. And you do have to Dremel out some of the magazine body because this part on the pipe, this enlarged area where you can use a wrench, it doesn't fit in the magazine. So you do have to get a Dremel and cut this out. Don't go too far in because the plastic housing houses that nut, and that nut is what's securing this into the launcher and putting pressure up against that seal. If you remove that nut and you screw up that housing, you'll probably need to buy a new magazine. These magazines aren't that expensive. They're like 27 bucks on Amazon. And I think from the manufacturer, they're like 35 or something. So yeah, this just goes in. You can twist it in with your hand, finger tighten it. I usually just like pinch the corners or these flat sides. I pinch them with my fingernails, and then I can turn it a little bit more, and it tightens up against there pretty good. And when I'm not using it, I just loosen it up so that I'm not putting pressure against that seal. So the normal way you would use this is with the twisty thing, and this is all metal. I feel like it's not going to break or anything like that. This should be fine for the 12 gram CO2s. And yeah, I've shot, I feel like I've shot at least 300 rounds through this, maybe closer to 400. And I've only had it fart on me when I use another CO2 in a short span of time. So usually if I'm just loading one CO2 cartridge in all the videos I've made using these cartridges, it's never farted on me on the first CO2. And that's when you would kind of use this in real life. You would use one CO2, dump your mag, and then, you know, escape, maybe reload. And you definitely have enough power as far as like shooting pepper balls out of this thing. You'd be fine. Impact is kind of up in the air about if this will actually stop someone, unless you get like a face shot or something, and like a hit them in an area where you actually like put them down, teeth, eyes, groin or something. And then you'd have to use like heavier ammo if you want that to actually happen. I would probably not run nylons in this if I'm going to carry it with me outside the house. I'd probably run the Joel V3s because they're rounds from a less lethal company. And I mean, I live in California, so courts and stuff, judges are probably would want to know that you're using. If I had to use this outside in public, I'd probably want to stick with all less lethal companies, less lethal ammunition, like all that, like by the book. You know, I wouldn't want to have this modified out in public using it if I ever had to use it. And like obviously I'm not going to roll around with this and an airline and stuff out in public, like in my car and stuff. There's just no time to hook all this stuff up. And yeah, it's just clumsy as hell if you're using this. I just do this so that I don't have to keep using these. And then I can constantly be getting full pressure out of this, hitting hard. When the CO2 tank is pressurized, this hits like 19 joules every single shot. So that's just for me at home practicing with it and stuff so that I don't have to keep burning through these. I have yet to use these powder ball things. I'll probably use them in the near future. I had Berna Eco rounds or whatever the hell they are, those green things with the powder in them. I had those. I just shot all of them. Pretty uneventful. And these rubber rounds that these Sabre came with, I haven't weighed them, but they're just rubber rounds. They're actually kind of squishy. Like they're not the greatest. I feel like the T4E rubber rounds are better than these. So if I ever use these, I'm probably just going to shoot them and not care where they go or what happens to them or anything. I haven't checked the bore size on them, but I'd assume that they actually kind of snug. They don't want to push in there that easily, and I don't want to push it in with my finger. But yeah, I'm sure they'll work. But one of the reasons rubber rounds are garbage is because they stick really bad to the inside of the barrel, so you'll kind of lose power. The way to sort of combat that is to oil the rounds, put a little bit of oil on them. But that's not that practical to have freshly oiled rounds in public. So yeah, I would pretty much just use the Grimberg Joel V3s because those are hard. They're not sticky or tacky like these rubber balls. And they're a pretty good bore match for this. The Berna Kinetics and the Grimberg Joel V3s were the best bore match for this because the alien plays that I have are kind of small. And I do have 680 bore size alien plays. I haven't used them in this yet, but just based on the size of the nylon balls, the 3.6 gram nylon balls that I have, there's a lot of light that I could see when I took this barrel out and shined a light, like a flashlight on this end, and put a ball through this other side, I could see a lot of light coming out of the Alien Play Rounds and the nylon balls, the T4E Quick Access balls, the Lambid Store Amazon nylon balls, and the Jawbreaker Riot balls, the black nylon balls that I have. I could see a lot of light coming through this. And the Salt Supply Kinetic rounds, the ones I have, were not a good match for this. They're kind of too big. So if you do get larger rounds, I'd say to stop at like 6.84 if you really want to like get like an optimal round to go through this. 6.84 would probably be the best matchup for this launcher. If they're 6.85, they'll probably fit too, but the 6.87 Salt Supply Kinetics were just kind of too big. I feel like they would probably fire out the end of the barrel, but they could possibly get jammed, especially when the power starts decreasing if you're using one of these. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you guys have any questions about this, let me know. So far it's been okay. It's not terrible. It's better than a Burna SD. It's just big. Power-wise, it's better than a Burna SD. It uses a very easy to find 12-gram cartridge. It's not using an 8-gram cartridge like the Burna SD does. And it's kind of cool. This is the only launcher I have where the air source and the magazine and the rounds are in the same unit, I guess, because I don't have an FSC. It's kind of been a paintball marker I've been sort of wanting to buy now, but I know that the new one's been coming out, but that's also one of those things where they keep saying, yeah, it's going to be out, it's going to get released, it's going to be released. And that was like early 2024, early last year, when I saw videos on the FSC XP, which is like the FSC number 2, and still haven't seen any evidence of that thing being released. We're already past Q1 of 2025, and supposedly they were supposed to start shipping or start being available to purchase any day now, but I have yet to see any websites that I look at offer them for sale not on pre-order, because anything I look up, it's always just pre-order this, pre-order it, pre-order it. No one has actually sent any out that I know of. So anyways, hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you next time.